The Samsung Galaxy A37 and A57 are official. I've had some early hands-on time, and here's everything you need to know. So the design of both devices is quite familiar. We have a polycarbonate or plastic frame on the A37 with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front of the back. The A57 has an aluminium frame with Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and back too. Now, because of the aluminium frame, it does feel more premium compared to the A37. And both devices come in 4 colors. On the A37, we have an awesome lavender, an awesome charcoal, an awesome gray green, as well as an awesome white. Yes, all of the colors are called awesome. The Galaxy A57 has an awesome lilac, an awesome icy blue, an awesome gray, and an awesome navy. Once again, all of the colors are called awesome. Now, unlike what we had last year on the A36, the colors are a lot more flat. And that means that the darker colors in particular do attract lots of fingerprints and dust, something to keep in mind. Now, the design has been refreshed slightly on both devices, and that's mainly with the camera modules. So we've got an ambient island with this translucent camera bump, and there is like a gradation pad around the camera module. Now, if I'm honest with you, the A56 camera module actually looks more premium compared to the A57 because the A56 had a metal camera module. And both the A37 and A57 now have an IP68 water and dust resistant rating. This is up from IP67 last year, so they're going to be a bit more water resistant. Now, when it comes to the size, the A37 is pretty much identical to the A36 last year. So we've got exactly the same dimensions and it just weighs 1 gram more. So it feels pretty much the same, but the A57 now is the thinnest A series ever, and it is a lot more compact compared to the A56 from last year. So it's just around 6.9 millimeters thin, making it around 5 millimeters slimmer compared to the A56, and it's also roughly 20 grams lighter. And this is something that you really can feel. It feels a lot more compact compared to the A56 from last year. Now, one of the reasons for that is that the A57 now has much smaller bezels compared to what we had on the A56. The A37 from the front looks pretty much exactly the same as the A36. Now, although we have smaller bezels, there is still a visible chin on both devices, more so on the A37 versus the A57. Now, this might not be a big deal to you, but something I have to mention because there are other devices in this price range that have uniform bezels. Now, both devices have a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus display, 120 Hz with 1200 nits high brightness mode and 1900 nits peak brightness. Apart from the bezels, the other difference that we've got on the A57 is that it's using SuperAMOLED Plus technology versus SuperAMOLED on the A37. And SuperAMOLED Plus is just a thinner display and it consumes less power compared to SuperAMOLED. And that also goes towards the thinness of the A57. So some pretty decent displays on both devices, but the A57 with a better display. Now, a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to see more like it, then be sure to subscribe. We'll be doing a full review of the A57 when it's in the house. Now, moving on to the cameras, we've got some improvements, but some of the things that are still the same. So the selfie camera is the same on both devices, 12 megapixels. They can shoot HDR video. And then we've got a triple rear-facing camera setup, which is actually pretty much a dual camera setup. So both devices now have the same primary camera. It's a 50 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. It can record HDR video, and it's got a big pixel size for this price range with an enhanced image signal processor. We've got different image signal processors on the different devices. For the ultra-wide cameras, we've got an 8 megapixel on the A37. On the A57, it's a 12 megapixel, so you're going to get better ultra-wide shots on the A57. And then we have that 5 megapixel macro camera. Now, I've said this before, at this price range, they generally include this macro camera so that they can claim that they have a triple rear-facing camera setup and it just looks nicer. But realistically speaking, this is something that just isn't going to be used that much. But we do have some more meaningful updates on the cameras of both devices. So on the A37, thanks to the new chipset, you do have an improved shot-to-shot speed of 400 milliseconds down from 1000 milliseconds. So that's quite a big improvement. On the A57, it's around 230 milliseconds down from around 300 milliseconds that we had before. Portraits have also been improved on the A37 to bring it in line with the A57. So we've got an AI segmentation model with AI powered context aware. And honestly speaking, even with a complex background like you can see here, It's doing a very good job with the edges. And if you remember seeing my A56 review from last year, that is something that I praised the A56 for, was great portrait shots for that price range. And this has now also come onto the A37. Another improvement we've got on the A57 is it's the first A series with blur-free zooming transitions. So when you switch from the ultra wide to the primary camera, the transition is going to be way smoother than before. This is something we don't have on the A37. It still is a bit of a jump between the two lenses. Now moving on to the performance of both devices. So the A37 is now powered by the Exynos 1480 chipset. We've got either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, depending on the storage version. And we now have LPDDR5X RAM up from LPDDR4X that we had on the A36 last year. And that's going to give you around a 75% improvement for memory. Now with the Galaxy A57, it's powered by the Exynos 1680. You've got either 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM based on the storage variant. And this is now also using LPDDR5X up from LPDDR5, which gives you around a 17% improvement for memory. The A57 also comes with a 13% larger vapor chamber with an advanced cooling system. Now, although both are mid-range devices and they're not going to give you flagship level performance, they will be good for your day-to-day. The A57, of course, is going to be the better performing out of the two. So if you are somebody who's thinking of gaming in your device, you might lean towards the A57. Now, moving on to the software. So both devices come with Android 16 out of the box with One UI 8.5, and Samsung has promised 6 generations of OS updates and 6 years of security updates for both devices. But we've got longer for business-to-business customers, 7 years. And that's one area where I think these devices are going to be very, very popular. Now, for AI, we've got flexible AI agents on both devices. You've got Gemini, Bixby, and Perplexity, and you can choose between these depending on what your task is. There's next level circle to search. So now after you circle to search, you'll be able to ask follow-up questions. We've got seamless action across apps. So if, for instance, you're in Gemini, you can ask it to find the upcoming Leicester City football games and add them to your calendar. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that right now, because I really don't want to, because we might be relegated. But anyway, we've also got voice transcription, voice recorder with voice transcription for calls. So if you're in a meeting, you want to record that meeting and then transcribe it later on, you're going to be able to do that on both devices. Now, there are select few Galaxy AI features on both devices, but you're not getting the full Galaxy AI experience that you get on the flagship S series. So although you do have Object Eraser, honestly speaking, it doesn't work too well. It's nowhere near what we've got on the S series. And the A57 comes with 2 Galaxy AI features, which you don't get on the A37. One is Best Face, which you also saw on the A56. Now for this, you need to have motion photo enabled. And although it can help to salvage an unusable photo that you might have, honestly speaking, it doesn't do a great job because it takes a still from that motion photo and then tries to enhance it, so the quality isn't going to be great. And another feature that you get on the A57, which you don't get on the A37, is auto trim. So this will use AI to extract highlights from your videos. Now for the batteries. So both of these devices have large 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, which is the same as what we had last year, but in line with what we've got on the flagship S26 Ultra. Now granted, the battery life is not going to be as good as the S26 Ultra because that has a much more efficient chipset, but nevertheless, it is going to be very good, I would say, and it's going to get you through the day on both devices. You will get slightly better battery life on the A57, and that's thanks to the more efficient chipset. And we have 45 watts of charging on both devices, so that's going to give you around 60% in 30 minutes. Same as the last year. No wireless charging, and as always, chargers are not included out of the box. In the UK anyway, they may be included in your region, so do check with your retailer. Now for connectivity, the A37 has Wi-Fi 6 with Bluetooth 5.3. The A57 now comes with Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 6.1. So you'll get faster data transfer rates, extended range, and more power efficiency on the A57. And finally for pricing, now unfortunately we do have a price increase across the board. So although the A37 starts at the same price as the A36 did last year, so that's £399, that is for half the storage, 128 gigabytes versus 256 that we got for the same price on the A36 last year. The 256 version of the A37 with 8 gigabytes of RAM is now priced at £459, so £60 more compared to last year. The A57 starts at £30 more for the base 256 gigabyte version, and the 512 gigabyte version with 12 gigabytes of RAM is now around £700. Now, granted, there is a memory and storage crisis, which might be one of the reasons for the price increase. Nevertheless, I will try to drop some affiliate links down in the description below for the best deals out there. Pre-orders begin now, and the devices will be on sale from 10th of April. What do I think about these devices? Well, I think they're pretty good mid-range devices, and I think they're going to be hugely popular as always, especially for business-to-business customers. Having said that, I was having a browse online for the S25 FE, and I did find it brand new from Amazon Direct for £500. Now, surprisingly, this changed after a couple of days, and I've looked again, and it's gone up to £650. So I'm sure Samsung probably thought, oh, let's increase the price of this so it doesn't make the A series look bad. Because if you ask me, based on your region, if you can get the S25 FE for a similar price to the A57, then that would be what I would go for. It's got a much faster processor, the Exynos 2400. It's got a usable third camera, an 8-megapixel telephoto. It's got wireless charging, and it's got the full-fledged Galaxy AI experience with all of the AI features. But maybe you can't get the S25 FE in your region. And if that's the case, then you might want to go for the A37 or the A57. What do you guys think of these devices? Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. As I mentioned, I will be trying to do a full review of the A57 at least. If you want to see that first, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.